Hey everybody, so I wanted to do a demo, a second demo of my Parabolic Stock Trading Indicator. And essentially what this does is that it catches stocks that are in a parabolic state. So what you want to do is that you want to figure out in what base they're in and when should you go in, right? You don't want to be in the later stages of a parabolic move. The indicator does not tell you when that is. The indicator only shows you when it has entered and how long has it been for. So use that to your discretion and make some money with it. Obviously, this is not financial advice. It doesn't tell you when to buy, when to sell. It just tells you like this is in a parabolic state. So let's say that I do give you access to the indicator. You go to custom stock alert and you put it in, and then essentially you can see these buy signals that it has, right? And as you can see, right now we're doing AMD, and let's put AMD back, let's say when it first started going parabolic. You want the higher the time frame, so the weekly is the strongest indicator. So if you're seeing a buy signal in the weekly, more likely than not, this is a strong buying signal. So the lower it goes in the time frame, the weaker. So if it's in the 1 hour time frame and it shows up, more likely than not it's going to continue longer, but it has a more chance of breaking. So this one's already in the weekly, so let's bring it down to daily just so you can see how it changes. And I usually like to keep my indicators and enter positions when it's starting in the daily to the 4 hourly, right? I might start a small position if I see it in the 1 hour, but really what I want to do is show it more in the 1 hour to 4 hour, and then daily range. Once it shoots in the daily range, that's usually when I start picking it up. So as you can see, we can go as back as 2007, and this indicator only shows you when the stock is parabolic, right? It doesn't tell you when to catch the bottom, it doesn't tell you when to catch the top, it doesn't tell you anything. It starts telling you when it's going to go in a parabolic state. So as you can see, sometimes it's wrong, but not really. So you see here it started buying, but it dropped, right? But it told you to stop buying. And then it told you to start buying again at $21. And that rally went all the way up to 41. So I'm using this as an example in 2005, obviously, because we're just seeing how this works. As you can see, it started at $8. It went up all the way to 19, so 100% gain. It dropped to 15, it stopped telling you to buy. It continued. If you bought again, it would have dropped a little bit. But essentially, you would have almost 400% in the span of 2 years. This indicator is not for day traders. This indicator is not for swing traders. This indicator is for long-term holders that want to see a 1x to 4x returns. So, like I mentioned, this indicator doesn't tell you when to sell, right? So obviously it stopped here, but if you see it from 44 to 30, when it stopped telling you to sell, it's a big chunk. So don't take it as a selling signal. You might want to use something else for that. And then it didn't pick up anything else up until 2009. So it took almost 4 years for this indicator to start showing up again, right? And it started exhibiting some shows, right? It got a 4x here from 3 to 10, right? And it continued, but here's where it started getting interesting in 2017. The first time that parabolic indicator started showing was at $1, and it continuously went up all the way to 13. It stopped. The second base, 31. The fourth base, 57. The fifth base, 97. And the sixth base, 163. So this indicator is showing potential. This is like a 10,000x. So understand that like this has potential, and this is over 5 years. So this indicator is not for a daily. So for example, right, it started showing. These are things that you have to trust, and this is where I had problems when I created this. Was that it takes so long to materialize that you get anxious and you start thinking that you're doubting yourself. So when I first saw this indicator show up again was at 104, and I bought, and it went down, And then I was like, oh, I'm losing money. I'm like 10, 20% down. This cannot be right. And I sold. And look at this. That rally went all the way up to $228. So I stopped doubting this indicator a long time ago. And this is where I'm going to show you where the smaller time frames start telling you when to get into these moves to get the most potential upwards, right? So if I dropped it to the, let's say the 1 hour, which is the one that I don't take anything below it, because that just means that it'll probably break easily. So the 1 hour is where it starts showing some indication that this might be a long-term move. So if I go to the 1 hour, you can see that it started showing up for me at 112. This is where I started buying again. This was in May. When I started buying this, I already knew that this was going to continue going upward. As the days traversed, we are now 143. So I'm already 40% up in this mate. And the next thing that started happening is that we started getting buy signals on the 4-hour chart. This means that over the next 6 months, most likely, this stock, if we don't get anything political, anything against the stock moving downwards, this stock might hit all-time highs again. So we are now looking out for this going over $200 because we are now entering a parabolic state on the 4-hour. Once we see it on the daily, it's a game over for us. We know that this is going to continue upwards and probably hit, since it already dropped, it needs to do a couple bases again as it's going upwards. So that's what we're going to be looking for. Yeah, so I'm going to be continuing doing these videos, I guess, to kind of showcase. I'm selling it now for $199 in my personal site. So just go over there and check it out, man. Once you buy it, I'll get an email. I'll send you an email back, and I'll get your TradingView ID, and I'll give you access. Lifetime, one-time fee. Usually people charge thousands for this, man. It's a one-time fee, and you only get it for $199. That's only for the first 100 people. So thank you guys for watching, and hope to see you soon.